What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be looking at the Marvel Legends movie Black Panther and movie Killmonger from the new Black Panther movie wave. And these figures are really similar, so I kind of felt like it was appropriate to kind of just put them in the same video, and I'll be sure to cover everything I need to for each figure, but yeah, I thought it would make sense just to put them together in one review. And here's a quick look at Black Panther in the packaging. You're able to see the figure and all the accessories that he comes with, and then you got a cool like Black Panther logo in the background. Same thing for Killmonger here. He's a little more crowded in his packaging because he has like weapons and the Build-A-Figure piece is bigger, so it takes up a little bit more space there. And then on the back of each figure, you're able to see the other figures it takes to build the Build-A-Figure. And then you get a cool shot of Black Panther, and then right there you get a cool shot of Killmonger. And then on the side you have some really nice looking artwork for both of the characters. I'm always a fan of the Hasbro packaging. I like that it's collector friendly. I like the way they set up the artwork and have the figure shown on the back and all that cool stuff. And yeah, you know, being collector friendly, you have some options. If you just want to pull the figure out, check it out, put it back in the package, you can do that. And then the articulation for these two figures is pretty much identical. The articulation is all the same, so I'm just going to use Black Panther to show off the articulation here. So his head is able to go side to side because it's on a ball joint. It could also go all the way around, and it has a little bit of tilt to it. And then you could bring his head down about that much, all the way to his chest there. And then you could make his head look all the way up. So that's pretty good. And then for his torso, he could crunch forward about that much. And then he could go back about that much. And then he has the waist swivel. And then at the shoulders, he has the butterfly type of joint. So his arm could go back about that much and then come forward across his chest a pretty nice amount. Check that out, that's pretty good. And yeah, I like that joint a lot, so it's cool that they included it this time. And then you're able to take his arms all the way around because he has like ball jointed shoulders, and then upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He's got a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. And then let's see, for his legs, they're able to come forward about that much. And they could go back a really nice amount without too much problem at all. And he could almost do the splits, not quite, but his legs come out, you know, as much as as much as you need. Don't really need to go much further than that. Then he has upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and he does not have any kind of lower leg swivel. That kind of sucks. But his feet do tilt forward about that much, and they tilt up about that much. And then you have the rocking ankles. I really wish he had a lower leg swivel, but I guess they didn't want to break up the sculpt, so I get it, it's all good. And like I mentioned before, the articulation setup is pretty much identical here on Killmonger. Just to give you a quick look here, everything's pretty much the same. You know, you got the ab crunch. His legs, if anything, he could probably do the splits a little bit better than Black Panther can, but you know, not much. His legs go forward about that much. You got the upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, elbows. He's got the butterfly shoulder kind of thing. So yeah, pretty much identical. I mean, it is identical. There was no differences. And for accessories, they both come with a pair of clawed hands. And then Black Panther comes with a pair of fists. And Killmonger does not come with a pair of fists, but he does come with a pair of gripping hands. And his gripping hands can be used to hold on to his two weapons that he comes with. And here's a closer look at the weapons. He's got this crazy looking knife or sword kind of deal. I'm not really sure what you'd call this, but it looks interesting. It looks really cool. And then he has this here that looks really nice too. He's got like a spear, a Wakandan spear. It's a little bit of warped from the packaging, but it's not really a big deal. I could kind of probably just push it back into shape and it'll be alright. But yeah, I really like the way that spear looks. And then Black Panther comes with two different heads. He's got the regular masked head, and then he has the unmasked T'Challa head. And Killmonger does not come with any extra heads. And for some size comparisons, here's the both of them next to the Netflix Daredevil and the MCU Spider-Man. And then here they are with the Civil War Captain America and Civil War Iron Man. I think it's Mark 46 or 45 or something. And then here he is next to the Figure Arts Captain America and Figure Arts Iron Man. And here they are next to DC Icons Deathstroke and DC Icons Nightwing. And here are the both of them next to Marvel Legends Black Panther and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And here are Killmonger and Black Panther together, and you can see that Killmonger is just a little bit taller. As you could see here. These figures, I really thought that they were just going to be exactly the same, but they're very different, so seems like as a result, Killmonger's a little bit taller. And here's a look at Black Panther next to the Figure Arts Black Panther and the Civil War version. And in my opinion, the Figure Arts one is the better of the three. But all three of them are great. I mean, any one of these three that you end up with, I think that you're in good shape. I kind of used to be annoyed by the Civil Wars version, only because it kind of was like hard to pose and play with, but this new one takes care of that for sure. This one is definitely a lot of fun to pose and play with. The Civil War version just kind of looked awkward to me, but he's awesome. I like it a lot. I love all the details and stuff like that. I want to say he kind of looks better than the new one, but the new one is definitely a lot more posable and a little bit funner to play with. I think the only thing that the Civil War version has in terms of posability is the ab crunch. It's definitely able to crunch a little bit more, but yeah, anyways, all three of these figures are great, but I'd say the Figure Arts one is the best of the three, which is probably not a surprise. And just in case anyone's curious, here's a look at the a head swap of the two figures, the Civil War version and the new version. And I really like the way this new version looks with the Civil War head. Check that out. Doesn't that look great? I think I like the Civil War version's head a little bit more than I like the new versions, but yeah, check that out. That's really, really cool. He might end up staying like that on my shelf, we'll see. And here's a little look at a head swap of the unmasked heads. And I think that looks kind of interesting. It gives you a little bit of options if you want to switch it up. And I was able to pop those on with no problem at all, so that's good stuff there. And before we take a look at the details on each one of these figures, I wanted to show them side by side so you could see how different they are from each other. Because I kind of thought that Killmonger was just going to be a repaint of Black Panther, but that's not the case. They're two completely different figures. They are very similar, and they have identical articulation setups, but they're very different once you have them both in hand. I was very surprised when I opened up Killmonger. But yeah, check that out. You can see the differences right there. The patterns on the costumes are different. And the build is slightly different between the two figures. But yeah, that's very cool. I'm glad that they went the extra mile and, you know, made these figures unique rather than just repainting each of them. And here's a closer look at Killmonger. And check that out. I love all the detail on his face. All that gold effect looks really, really cool. And you can see on the whole body, there's like a camo effect. It's hard to see here on the camera. It's even hard to see in person, but it's definitely there. It's like a camouflage kind of effect on him. And you can see all the details here, like sculpted on his legs. You got all kinds of cool stuff going on. Check that out. It's really, really nice looking. It kind of reminds me of the old Toy Biz Black Panther, or at least the design. It's very similar to what we've seen in the comic books for Black Panther. And yeah, they got that going on here with Killmonger, so it's very cool. Look at his face. His face looks a little like he's making a scowl under the mask there. But it's very cool, that gold effect. Everything about this figure is cool. I was very pleasantly surprised with this guy. I didn't think I'd like him as much as I would. I'm a little scared because on the arm of mine, it's like seems a little fragile. I'm afraid it might break, so I'm just gonna be very careful with that. But yeah, here, check out the face. Looks very cool. You can see that camo effect in there. And then for Black Panther, the same thing. You've got a lot of cool details on the whole body. Take a quick look at his head sculpt there. But yeah, on his body, there's just details everywhere. Really similar to the Civil War one, as far as the amount of details they put in there. But you can see all the little patterns throughout his whole uniform. Got some silver details here in the lower leg and like on the toe and stuff. And you know, obviously this is the movie version, but it definitely feels like it was going for some comic accuracy there. There's a little bit of details here on the hand. You got the silver nails, and then like his necklace. There's a little bit of silver. There's a little bit of silver on his face. It's not as clean as it should be, but I mean, it's not horrible. But yeah, I mean, it really reminds me of like the comic book. That's dope. That's definitely the way that it should be. And for the unmasked head, I kind of have mixed feelings. From some angles, I think that it looks perfect, and from some other angles, it looks kind of strange, especially in the eyes. I think it would have benefited a lot if the white of the eyes was a little bit whiter, because it kind of it kind of just blends all in, you know, because it's a little bit darker than it should be. But it does look good. It definitely looks like the actor. I like the sculpted beard details. It looks really nice. And yeah, overall it looks good. But it kind of reminds me when you see like those 3D printing stations in the mall where you could get like a 3D printout of yourself. It kind of looks like that. It looks like it's supposed to look like, you know, it looks like it's supposed to, but it just looks fuzzy. It doesn't look as clean as it should. But it's definitely better and more accurate than the Civil War version. The Civil War head looks nice and stuff, but it kind of just looks like a cartoon character or something. Doesn't really look like a person. This new one definitely looks like a person, and it looks like it captures Chadwick Boseman like it's supposed to. But I think it just could have been, it would have been better if it was just a little bit sharper or something. I guess that's the best way I could put it. So overall, I'm very, very happy with both of these figures. I think that they did a really good job all the way around. The sculpt is really good. The articulation is very good on both of them. And yeah, I have no real big gripes. The only thing that I'm kind of annoyed with is on my Killmonger, one of the pegs on the arms is really loose and it feels like it might break. I really hope it doesn't, but it feels like it's possible. And the other thing, I really do think the Chadwick Boseman head sculpt could have been a little bit better, but I don't know. It is really good, and it's like definitely like better quality than we've seen from Hasbro in the past. It's I want to say it's almost up there with like a Figure Arts head sculpt, but even those head sculpts aren't perfect all the time. But yeah, I think this one, if it was just a little bit sharper, especially around the eyes, it would have been a little bit better. But it's still a cool head sculpt. It's just a little, you know, it just a thought that I had. I thought it could be done a little bit better. But I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because I do think it looks good, and I'm very happy with both of these figures. And yeah, I'm excited about the rest of the wave and building the Build-A-Figure and stuff like that. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. And I do apologize. I'm a little bit sick, so sorry if I don't sound as enthusiastic as I should. I am very excited about these figures, but yeah, I'm just a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for that. But thank you for sitting through this, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.